Hi girls, we are starting our second chapter on time this week. So we would have looked at time earlier in the year. Our learning objectives for this week, we will be converting hours to minutes and converting minutes to hours and minutes, and then understanding digital time AM and PM. We will also be looking at a number of problems and some calendar work as well. So today's lesson is really going to be a recap on what we looked at early in the year, and then that will help us with the chapter that we're going to be focusing on this week. So what we would have looked at, so third class, telling the time to the nearest 5 minutes using analog and digital clocks, solving practical tasks and problems involving times and dates. And then fourth class, we looked at reading the time in 1 minute intervals on an analog clock. So remember, your analog clock is like the clock that we had up on the wall in the classroom. To express digital time as analog time and vice versa. Solve practical tasks and problems involving times and dates. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Okay, so a quick recap. We're going to look firstly at the two hands on the clock. So you will see that we have a shorter hand and a longer hand. Shorter hand refers to the hours and the longer hand refers to the minutes. And a way that we remembered that last, I think it was September or October, was that the minutes, the word minutes is longer than the word hour. And minutes is a longer word, so the hand on the clock is longer. So that's how we remember that. So we have our shorter hand hours, longer hand minutes. You will also notice that the clock is labelled. Now, not all clocks are labelled with numbers. This one is. So you'll see it starts with 12 and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then back to 12. So have a look at the hours hand again, so the shorter hand. The hours hand, when it is at 12, is 12 o'clock. When it moves to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and back to 12 o'clock. So that's when the hours hand is at each of these points on the clock. Look at our example here in the clock. So you have a look at the hour hand, and you'll see the hour hand. We can see it's barely past 9, but it hasn't reached 10 yet. So the hour is just after 9 o'clock. So let's put a 9 in for our hours. Now let's move to the minutes. And the minutes are obviously shorter than the hours. And the minutes use these marks here on the clock. So if our minute hand was pointing to this, can you see this one here? It would be 1 minute past 9. If it was here, it would be 2 minutes past 9, 3 minutes past 9, 4 minutes past 9, and we'll see on the slightly more emphasised mark, it's 5 minutes past 9. So when the minute hand starts here at the 12, it would be 9 o'clock. And then it moved 1 minute after 9, 2 minutes after 9, 3 minutes after 9, 4 minutes after 9, and 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. And remember our digital clock that we looked at as well last September. The hours, 2 colons, and the minutes. So the hours come first. So what hour are we in? We're in 9, so 9 o'clock. How many minutes past the hour? 5 minutes past the hour. So let's keep going from the 5. So we're at 5 minutes past 9. If the minute hand moves to this point here, 6 minutes past 9, 7 minutes past 9, 8 minutes past 9, 9 minutes past 9, and when we reach the 2, 10 minutes past 9. Let's keep going. 11 minutes past 9, 12 minutes past 9, 13 minutes past 9, 14 minutes past 9, 15 minutes past 9. Do you recognise a pattern? And you might see that there's a pattern, there's an interval of 5. So from learning our 5 timetables, you would know the intervals are 5, 10, 15. So then if we were to continue on, at the 4 it's 20 minutes past 9, 25 minutes past 9, 30 minutes past 9, which is also known as 9:30, 35 minutes past 9, which we say is 25 to 10 because there are 25 minutes left until we get to the next hour, which is 10 o'clock. So let's count how many minutes there are left in that hour. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then that will bring us to 25. Keep going with our intervals. So 35 minutes past 9, 40 minutes past 9, 45 minutes past 9, 50 minutes past 9, 55 minutes past 9, and then we're back to our o'clock. So remember, there's 60 minutes in an hour, and the 60 minutes are represented on the clock through the labels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in 5-minute intervals. So like we looked at, if I split my clock down the middle, the side to the right is past the hour. So you will see we are on 5 past the hour, which is 9. If the minute hand was on the 2, it would be 10 past the hour, which is 10 past 9. So the half is 30 minutes. So half an hour is the same as 30 minutes past the hour. This side here on the left is 2. So we don't say half to the hour, we'd say half past the hour. But when we get to the 7, we know that there's 25 minutes to the next hour. So we've 25 to 10, 20 to 10, quarter to 10, 10 to 10, and 5 to 10. This is all a recap on what we did last September, so I hope it's coming back to you. Another little point I gave you to help you with the 2 side, because we all were finding the 2 side a little bit difficult. So if the minute hand was at the 4, so I'll just draw it here for you, we knew that that was 20 past 9. But if the minute hand was at the 8, that was 20 to 10. So remember we saw that there was a pattern, and the pattern was 5 past, 5 to, 10 past, 10 to, a quarter past, a quarter to. We had our 20 past, or 22, 25 past, 25 to. So that was a little pattern that we recognized in September when we were doing the time. So to recap on that, 30 minutes on each side of the clock will give me 60 minutes. So half of an hour is 30 minutes. If I wanted to divide the clock into quarters, how many minutes would there be in each quarter? So we could halve the 30 again, and let's see what we could come up with. 15. So quarter past is the same as 15 minutes past. 5, 10, 15. Okay, and then we have over on the far side on the 9, that is a quarter to. So remember, they match up. A quarter past, a quarter to. And a quarter to 10 means that there's 15 minutes left until we get to the next hour, which is 10 o'clock. I really hope that is not confusing you. I hope it's helping you somewhat. It's a really, really quick recap on what we would have spent the week at in September. We have broken it down into a few minutes. So I hope that has helped. Okay, we'll go through a few examples together, and I will leave a few for you to try yourself. Okay, so we will look at, for example, we will look at A. And A is here. So we can see the shorthand is the hours and the longhand is the minutes. So let's look at the shorthand first. So we can see that the shorthand is between the hours 6 and 7. So it's between 6 and 7. It's just not quite at 7 yet. So we're still in the 6 o'clock hour. Now let's look at the minutes hand, and we can see the minutes hand is on the left hand side of the clock. So remember, past and to. So we're on the to part of the clock, so on the to half. So how many minutes have passed the hour of 6 o'clock? So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes. So the time is 6:45 or 6:45. We'll look at B now. B is one that we were finding a little bit difficult when we were in the classroom. So let's look at the longhand, the minutes hand. Is it on the to or the past side? And we know it's on the past side. So we will look at the shorthand now, and we look at the hours, and we'll see that the hour hand is between 8 and 9. So we're in the 8 o'clock hour. We're not quite at the 9. So we put down 8. So how many minutes past 8? Well, let's do it together. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes past 8, which is the same as 25 to 9. I'm going to leave the rest as options for you to practice. So if you want to pause the slide, and if you want to practice one or two of them, you can choose. So it's your choice. Choose a few to practice. If you look at G, that might be a nice easy one for you. You'll see it's on the o'clock. So just give a few of them a go there now. And you can write the answers into the copy. So just press pause. And you will notice that the minute hand, there's a little pattern with these, is on the to side. So give those a go, press pause. Okay, let's look at a few of these examples here. So we will look at example A on the bottom row. So let's have a look at the minute hand. The minute hand is the long hand, and we'll see that it is in the in the past side. Okay, and what hour are we on? Well, if you look at the shorthand, you will see that the hour hand is pointing to 12. Okay, so it's just past 12. So our hours is 12. And how many minutes past the hour? Well, let's look. 5, 10. So it's 10 past 12. Let's look at another example. Let's look at example C on the bottom row. So what hour are we in? Well, our hour hand is between 2 and 3. So it's just barely past 2. It hasn't reached 3 yet. So our hour is 2. How many minutes past 2 has occurred? Well, let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And how do we say that? We say that as 25 past 2. So you'll see I'm writing it as a digital clock. So you can see that time is represented on the analog clock and on the digital clock in the same way. Again, feel free to try a few of these examples. So if you want to pause the slide and try a few, you can choose which ones you like, and then you can press play when you're ready to move. Okay, this is the task you're going to try in your copies. So I'll copy this slide and I'll put it into the PowerPoint for you if you want. So what we're learning is to record time in 5-minute intervals in both analog and digital formats. So it's just a little revision session for us. So when the minute hand points to 1, here, it will be 5 minutes past 3, or like we were practicing with the digital time, 3:05. and always use your 2 colons there. Look at A. When the minute hand points to 3, so if the minute hand is pointing to 3, it will be blank minutes past 3. So you need to work out how many minutes past 3 will it be if the minute hand is on 3. So I will guide you along, but I'm not going to tell you the answer. So let's see. 5, 10. So what will it be? Remember the intervals we're going in. This is also called, so how many minutes past 3, and it's also written as, so you'll see you're writing it as digital clock. So what you're practicing here is you're practicing recording the time. We're focusing on 5-minute intervals, and we're looking at analog clocks. So the analog clock is the clock pictured here, like the one on the wall in school, and digital format, so like the digital clock with the 2 colons. With the digital clock, remember, hours is in the first part before the 2 colons, and then your minutes past the hour. Okay, so for example, if it was 7:15, 7:15, what hour are we in? If it's 7:15, we haven't reached 7 o'clock yet, so we are in the 6 o'clock hour. So I'll just write it here on the side. Remember my 2 colons. 7:15. So how many minutes past the hour have I gone? So remember, 1:45, my minute hand will be on the 9, and that would be 45 minutes past 6, which is the same as 7:15. Try this out. If you have a clock in the house, you can use that to help you. If you have a watch, make sure you're wearing it, as that will help. Just give this your best shot. Try a few of them. So you can choose which ones to try. If not, just try them all. And I will put up the answers for you tomorrow. This slide also is going to be on the PowerPoint. I know that was a really quick, rushed explanation of time. The whole week that we would have spent in September was really squashed in there into one short little lesson. So I hope it helps. Bye for now.